Hi everyone, welcome back to part 2 of this series of how you can start your journey on becoming a great public speaker and mastering the ability to be able to get up and present. And this is part 2 of a 3-part series. If you haven't watched part 1, I suggest you go back and watch part 1 because it lays a little bit of foundation for this one. If you've already watched, I hope you enjoyed and you gave us some comments. So let me share with you, ladies and gentlemen, the part 2 that I said to you, how do you deal with nerves? How do you deal with building confidence on a stage? And you know, it's amazing. I usually tell the story that one of the greatest things you can ever do to get rid of nerves and confidence is to actually get out and speak. Just put yourself in a position where you got to get up and speak. You know, and one of my greatest friends is called James. That is, you know, what he has always told me. He said, you know what, coach, all I had to do was to get up and start speaking for me to conquer my nerves. So even for you, yes, you might as well. So this is, ladies and gentlemen, my seven-step way to control nerves and build confidence on your journey to become a great public speaker. The number one thing, ladies and gentlemen, as always, is you must have a big enough reason why you want to public speak. And in this context, I want you to think about it from the point of view that the number one way for you to deal with your nerves is to have a big enough why to want to serve from a platform. What do I mean? If you do not have a big enough reason why you want to serve from a platform, from a public speaking point of view, then obviously the nerves are going to kick in. Then obviously you're not going to have the confidence. Why? Because your why is not big enough. Because your why is not strong enough. So the first thing you must, whatever you do, is to ask yourself, why would I want to be this? Why would I want to get up and speak in front of people? The moment that why kicks in, bam, you're good to go. Why? Because when you have a big enough why, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what is going to go. You're going to get up and speak. One of my biggest whys is I have got to make sure that there's a generational change. Now that for me is so important. It's so deep that it doesn't matter. I will get out and speak and do whatever it takes. Most importantly, I come from a service point of view. What do I mean? The big enough why for me is that as long as I am serving other people, it is worth doing whatever it takes. How about yourself? Maybe you might want to think about, hey, why do I want to get on stage? The moment you craft that big enough why, you begin to move. The second step that you must take, ladies and gentlemen, is preparation. Preparation. One of the greatest ways to deal with nerves and confidence. I mean, think about it. The only time you become nervous is if you haven't prepared enough, is if you haven't done your homework, is if you're not sure of your topic. One of the greatest ways to be confident when you get up in front of people is, guess what? Do your preparation. Go through the speech. Know what you're going to talk about. Go through the 7 questions that we did in Part 1, remember them? Those ones give you the confidence to get up and nail a presentation and make sure that every bit of question that any person in the audience might have, you got it. So preparation. I can't stress it enough. You know, I have had situations where you can see a person comes on stage and they begin, you know, to speak, and all of a sudden somebody puts up their hand and asks them a question, and because of lack of preparation, they lose it. So the confidence goes, the nerves kick in, and it just becomes total mess. Prepare. Have a big enough reason why. Number 2, prepare. Number 3, your state and presence. Oh man, I can't stress this enough. The most important thing for you to do is to be in a great state. What do I mean? Great state means, number 1, you've prepared. Number 2, you're breathing in fully. You're ensuring that when you breathe in, your entire body is energized. Most importantly, in state, we talk about something called presence. Now, in the last 2-3 years, when I started to hear about this from all the people that I follow, the people that I admire, when you start to understand presence, ladies and gentlemen, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. When you have a great state, You're breathing in well, you're looking good, you have done your preparation, you have a big enough reason why. Most importantly, you're present with the people you're talking to. You're not thinking about, oh, what am I going to do after this? Oh, are they judging me? Or you're in the moment. You're right here, right now, serving. That presence is so important to help you with the nerves. Why? Number one, nothing will surprise you. Because guess what? You're present. Anything that is going to come, you can calibrate and know, okay, hello, there's something that's not happening. My audience is not getting it. Maybe I need to engage them a bit more. Maybe I need to get them up. But that gives you confidence when you get on stage. Hey, you can be able to deliver in whatever circumstances. Why? Because you have a great state. You're breathing. There's nothing as important as breathing. You know, sometimes backstage, before I go on stage, you know, people will see me going, chop, chop. Then I'm feeling good. All of a sudden I feel my energy going and I'm like, hey, let's get out and kick it. I get on stage and I'm up there in terms of energy. Now depending, you know, I will be playing with my energy somehow, depending on where I'm at. You know, if it is a crowd where I need to raise their energy, then I got to be in a great state. Sometimes I'll go in and I realize, okay, maybe I'm too strong. I might just pull back a little bit. State, ladies and gentlemen, is so crucial. Number 4 in terms of dealing with your nerves is know your audience. Just take time to know your audience. You know, sometimes people say, hey, coach, you can't greet everybody. No, you don't need to go out and greet everybody, but know your audience. You know, if we're doing a public seminar, for example, we will take time to find out who is coming, where they're coming from, what kind of issues do they have. You know, and sometimes you find me, I'll go to the front or to the back sometimes, and I might just greet a few people, I might just sit and watch. Why? It's crucial for you to know your audience, because when you get on stage, there's a familiarity there. Hello. And if there's a familiarity, it calms you down. Why? You're among friends. You know, one of the things that we teach during the live seminars of presenting magically, we teach people that when you get out on stage, look at them like long lost friends. I mean, think about the psychology of that. If I get out and I look at you like a long lost friend, where are the nerves going to come from? No chance. Is the confidence going to be up there? Of course it is going to go up there. So think about it. Number 1, why? Number 2, prepare. Number 3, your state and presence. Number 4, take time to know your audience. Number 5 in this 7-step series is always start with your own stories. This is one of the greatest things I learned when it comes to dealing with nerves and or building confidence. Why? Think about it. Nobody knows your stories like you. Nobody. So think about it. When you get on stage, after you've done the initial introduction and stuff like that, go into your story. Number 1, you can't forget your story. Number 2, nobody else knows, so they can't ask you anything that you wouldn't know. Number 3, it gives you time to ground yourself when you're on stage. You know, for a long time when I used to start, I would come on and say, hi everybody, welcome, my name is Coach Phill. Today we're going to talk about goal setting. Let me tell you a story. Bam, then I'll get into a story of how I went places, or how I did this, or how I ran the London Marathon, or how I did that. All of a sudden, by the time I've finished the story, I have created rapport, I am grounded, bam, I begin to rock and roll. So, start with your own stories every time you get on stage. You'll be surprised. Number 6, ladies and gentlemen, and this is crucial. Every time before you go for a presentation, in terms of making sure you deal with your nerves and build confidence, is visualize your success. Take time to visualize you getting up there and doing the right things, speaking the right way, engaging your audience emotionally, making sure that you're answering the questions, making sure that everybody is engaged. Visualize it. Take your time to see yourself being successful. You'd be surprised, ladies and gentlemen. It works. I don't know how it works. Well, I do. It works. Just go and visualize your success. You got it? Thank you. Number 7, ladies and gentlemen, practice, 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 practice. Before I get on here on camera to talk to you guys, I practice. I write my stuff down. I practice. I practice. I practice. I will talk to myself. I will talk to myself in the car. I will do my voice overs. I will do whatever it takes to practice and practice and practice. Why? The more you practice, the easier it will become when you get on stage. Think about it. You practice, you practice, you practice. When you get on stage, there's some kind of flow. Why? Because you know what comes afterward. You know, for example, right now, if you did what I suggested in video series number 1, if you've practiced those 7 questions, guess what? Before you know it, you'll be going anywhere, and in any kind of conversation you can always start. So why do I need to talk to this person? What is important? How does what I'm going to talk about work? What if they do? What if they don't? The more I practice now, for example, for me, anytime I have to get up for a presentation for sales, those are my questions, 7 of them, put them there, fill in the blanks, boom, I'm good to go. Why? I have practiced and practiced and practiced. Even for you, as you go on your journey to become a great public presenter, think about it. Practice and practice and practice a little bit more. You know, it's not about, oh, 1 hour. No, practice beyond the presentation. Practice beyond what is expected. Practice beyond what you expect of yourself. Stretch yourself. Because when you do that, when you get on stage, bam, you're ready. Your confidence is up there. No nerves. You're good to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you are. Number 1, have a big enough why. And number 2, preparation. Prepare as much as you can. Number 3, have a great state, have great presence. Number 4, know your audience. Take time to know your audience. Look at them like long lost friends. You never get nerves when you're with your long lost friends, do you? Number 5, always start with your own stories. Nobody knows your stories more than you do. Number 6, visualize your success. And number 7, practice, practice, practice. I would like to also just give you some beliefs to take away in terms of these particular 7 steps. And these beliefs are beliefs for great communicators. But also they are beliefs that I would like you to think about. If you could adapt them for you as you begin your journey to become a great presenter. The number 1 belief I want you to think about is that number 1, you're good. You would not have come to this video, you would not have started this journey if you're not good at something. Every one of us is good at something, so you are good at something. You are good at presenting. You can get out and present. You can get out and be as successful as you want from presentation skills. So it is a belief I want you to take. I want you to believe. I want you to think, eat, drink, whatever, knowing you're good at something. And that something could be public speaking. Number 2, I want you to take on this belief that as long as you are in service, you always succeed. Getting up to talk to people, getting up to present, getting up to share your message is a service. And you cannot not be successful in a service. So I'd like you to take on that belief and say, you know what, I am here to serve. And in service, hey, I will always be rewarded. And finally, guess what? One final belief that I always have is that there's always another chance to make it better. You know, it has been said that presentations or speeches are like the London buses. When you miss one, there's 2 coming along. So when you do one and you feel, oh, it didn't go as well, guess what? It's okay. There's another 2 that are coming. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Those are your 7 ways of how you can control nerves and how you can build confidence when you get up to speak on stage. So, as usual, we have part 3 of this series, and in part 3, I'm going to be sharing with you how to engage an audience. You know, there's nothing as boring and you know, where you go for a presentation and somebody speaks and, you know, half the audience is on their laptops or on their whatever. Why? Because there's no engagement. So in the next series, I'm going to share with you what are the ways where you can engage your audience, where you can get them to want to be part of it, where you get raving fans at the end of it and they're like, oh man, that was cool, where, you know, you have people lining up to come and say, hey, thank you so much, that was a great presentation. So all that is going to happen in the next video, so watch out for that in your email. And so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. As I do always, if you liked what we just presented to you, please take time to go below the video and give us some comments whether you like it or you don't. We always love feedback. Most importantly, you can share with us what else you'd like to learn, what else you'd want us to share with you, you know, so that we can come up and you know, and be able to share as much as we can. And in doing that, as I end every day, I say, whatever you do, live strong, believe, most importantly, love deeply, and the world can only be a better place. Thank you.